So some crazy shit happened on the Oscars on Sunday, and no, I'm not talking about what you think I'm talking about. I'm talking about a Best Picture sweeper and a director-only sleeper. I'm going to tell you how rare that is right now.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, I'm Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you are a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I'd like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. We all know Sunday was the Oscars. Figured I'd milk a couple more Oscar season videos out of it while I'm at it, right? So, two interesting things happened on the same show. We had both a Best Picture winner that swept every one of its categories and a Best Director winner where the winner was the only category that it won. Both of those things don't happen very often in 94 years, and I'm going to go over both of them right now. So, let's start with the clean sweepers. It was a more common thing back in the day. Same with the director thing, because there were fewer categories in the heyday of the Oscars in the late 20s of the 1900s, 100 years ago or so, you know what I mean. There has only been 7 times that the Best Picture winner swept all of its categories it was nominated for. And Coda was one of them. It was only nominated in 3 categories, which was ridiculous, and I mentioned that on how many stats it broke on other videos, so I won't get into that all over again. The movie that went 2 for 2 at the very first Oscars was Wings from 1927/28. It was like a half-year thing back then. I don't know why. They changed that very quickly after the first couple of ceremonies, but Wings went 2 for 2 at the Oscars, including Best Picture. Then, probably the most ridiculous example is Grand Hotel in 1931/32, when it was nominated only for Best Picture, yet managed to win Best Picture. Nowadays, that would never happen. Coda is about as close as you're going to get. And then, probably the most successful one of all of them was It Happened One Night, went 5 for 5 in 1934, and this is one of the 3 films in 94 years to win the top 5 categories, and the fact that it's the only 5 things it was up for, and it won them all, is even more impressive, which is picture, director, screenplay, actor, and actress in the leading acting categories. The only other 2 movies to have done that are Cuckoos Nest in 1975 and Silence of the Lambs in 1991. So yeah, it's been a while. I kind of hope that happens again sometime soon. Gigi in 1958 went 9 for 9, which is very damn impressive. Speaking of getting 9 nominations and getting all 9 of them, the next film did the same thing, which was The Last Emperor, which is on the Criterion Collection, and it is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I used to own the DVD of it, and I sold it because I'm an idiot. So now I got to go get the Last Emperor Blu-ray from the Criterion Collection this year. That swept all 9 categories, and it wasn't nominated for any acting categories either, which is even more crazy, which I guess isn't that crazy, because the next example did the same thing with no acting categories nominated, which was everyone's favorite 11 for 11 record-breaking milestone, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King in 2003. It won 11 of all of its nominations. It was not nominated for any acting, like I said. It was not nominated for cinematography, which is kind of weird, but it's a good thing it wasn't, because it won to 1 apparently. Yeah. Probably the most impressive sweep in history, because that's ridiculous. It's the only movie with more than 10 or 10 or more nominations to do that. And then we have 3 for 3 with Coda. Not as impressive as 9 for 9 or 11 for 11, but for a movie like that, nowadays, that's really fucking hard to do. And on to the director-only sleepers, which is only a thing I'm saying because it kind of makes sense and it rhymes. But here they are. There is only 6 of them in the history of 94 years of the Oscars, and this year was one of them. The first one happened at the very first Oscars, oddly enough, just like Wings happened at the very first Oscars, back when there were very few categories, because this was a very weird situation where they had a comedy and a drama section category for directing. So this was the Best Director winner for comedy in 1927, and that was Two Arabian Nights, a movie I've never seen, and that was directed by Louis Milestone. And what a milestone he had. What a convenient name. 1936, at the 9th Academy Awards, was the next one. That was Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. The director of that film was Frank Capra. I don't know why I had to double check. Very famous movie. Kids nowadays might know the Adam Sandler remake Mr. Deeds, which is essentially the same movie without the, quality filmmaking involved. And then the next year, 1937, at the 10th Oscars, the same thing happened again. So 2 years in a row, which is weird. The Awful Truth by Leo McCarey was the best directing winner of that year. No other wins for that film. Then in 1956, at the 29th Academy Awards, Giant, which is a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. It's in the AFI Top 100. I think it's rumored for 4K if I remember right, but we haven't seen anything about that lately. But it is a great movie starring James Dean. I believe it was his last role that came out after his passing, which was basically all of his movies, sadly. But yeah, it was nominated for, I want to say, 10 Oscars, winning only director, which up until now seemed ridiculous. That was directed by George Stevens. But seriously, go see Giant. It's fantastic. If you got 200 minutes to watch a movie, it's a long one. And then up until this weekend, most recently, was 1967 at the 40th Academy Awards. The Best Director winner, I believe it had 7 nominations, was The Graduate by Mike Nichols. Once again, great movie, has a Criterion Collection. I think it's also rumored for 4K. So either way, you're in good hands with that film. I only have the old-ass DVD that I desperately need to upgrade. But that's a movie that the first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, that's all right. I didn't really get into it too much. And then I watched it years later, and I loved it. So it's just one of those movies that you have to watch at the right time to have it click in your brain, I think. But it is hilarious. And Dustin Hoffman's fantastic, among everyone else in the film. And I recommend you go buy that one if you don't have it. I would have grabbed my DVD of it, but I was too lazy, and I'm already sitting. And then, finally, we have Jane Campion for Power of the Dog just the other night at the 94th Academy Awards. Only the 3rd woman ever to win Best Director, so that is cool. 2nd woman in a row, which is impressive. But yeah, it had 12 nominations and only 1 director, which is what I predicted would happen, even though I didn't really want that to happen, but I was right, I guess so. Hey. I love that she won. It was easily my favorite of the films that I had seen, which was most of them. But that's it. The Best Picture sweepers and the director-only sleepers of the Academy Awards. I'll see how many random things I can think of about the Oscars to make videos of in the future. If anyone out there has a topic they would like to see a video on, please tell me, because I can't think of all this. I'm only one man, and I'm not much of one. Thank you for watching. I'm Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.